everybody. Podcast number 129. We have the regulars, myself, Kerry Kreitz, Tim Wiseman, Dexter Wiseman, and special guest, Scott Haka, as a co-host. Welcome to the show, man.
Thanks, guys.
For anybody out there wondering, Scott Haka is a bowler from Grand Prairie, Alberta.
Yeah. way up north.
Scott's obviously been touring on the WCBT a little bit, big part of the North contingent in multiple different associations and stuff like that. So we're happy to have him on, and special relationship with our special guest today. So a little insight that maybe we won't have.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. I know Gerald's been talking about it here for a while, so I had to keep it a secret the last couple of days that I was going to be on, but I think he's pretty excited, and I think it's an awesome guest, and he's going to just show what the North, especially as a proprietor, what we got going on, and it's a lot of good things.
Yeah, he's done wonders for the community up there, so it's nice that we finally get him on, because you could definitely feel that energy from the North has changed dramatically since he took over, so it's awesome.
Yeah, he's quite the character, so yeah, it'd be a lot of fun having on here, a lot of laughs. I know he's all primed up, ready to go, so and then some. Yeah. So I'm really excited about it.
Yeah, it'll be good.
Yeah.
Do you guys want to talk about what happened on Pro League on Sunday? Or?
No.
It wasn't the Crushers' finest showing, that's for sure.
They got crushed. Yeah. We got crushed.
The Crushers got crushed.
Yeah, we had a couple people play one person play pretty good. We had one person play okay, and then we had four of us play not so great. I was atrocious.
I was even worse.
It was kind of tough to watch. I mean, obviously I couldn't be there. I would love to be there to support you guys. So I know you guys are trying hard and whatnot. It is sometimes it's not on your cards, right? So it is what it is, and BBG played well, and the other team played well against us, Toppler. So at the end of the day, obviously we can't have our destiny in our own hands, but we'll figure it out, and we're in the show already, I think. So we'll figure it out, right? So
yeah, BBG played great. Who we played?
Toppler.
Paradise? Toppler. Yeah. No, we didn't. Was it Toppler?
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah,
that's how close attention I was paying.
Do you know what? Honestly,
we were so bad I didn't even look.
The only thing I wondered was when you're playing BBG and you quickly went up on Steve, that 10th frame. I was like, I remember when it was like you went dash and then you went 5 and you went dash again. I was like, you were so fast during that one time.
I was fast then.
Yeah.
It wasn't a 3-pin?
No, I know. No, I just missed the middle.
I saw a few there on Sunday. Yeah. That's for sure.
I know. The first game. I just missed the middle of the first one. That one wasn't so bad, but then it was over at that point. Yeah. I need to bag out. It is what it is. Wasn't stellar.
You know what? I watched majority of that match because obviously the both the 9 and the 10 o'clock match had some implications for this Sunday. So, watching that second one, you guys came out to a good start, and then it was just, there was Victor started to plow, Dex had a 3-pin, there was some plows there. Like it just, it was like, you guys kind of lost some of the momentum after the first few frames. So, it is what it is. It's bowling. It happens.
Yeah. Just pressed a little bit, right? So
yeah,
it is what it is. Anyways, what about Aaron Rodgers? What about Aaron Rodgers?
So,
$200 million
contract.
Yeah,
ever.
I'm not gonna go back. Oh, just pay me like the entire world's money and friggin' Elon Musk money, and and I'll play.
And
I don't know.
And what about Russell Wilson to the Broncos?
Yeah, there's a lot of people.
Those poor Seahawks fans. Yikes.
Oh, Mitch Davies. Has anyone checked up on him?
Yeah, honestly, I'm perfect. I hate Seattle. Like I hate that team no matter what. So I don't feel bad whatsoever about it. So
yeah. Big news in Indy though.
Yeah.
Wentz is gone.
Wentz is gone. Yeah, Wentz is
One
gone.
and done.
He's to the Commanders now. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a good day for me, that's for sure.
So who does Indy have now?
I don't know who's available. Jimmy G,
Jimmy G, Teddy Bridgewater,
Derek Carr.
Jameson Winston.
Well, we're scraping the bottom.
Oh, Mitch Trubinsky. There is one. Yeah. There's a solid pick up there.
Yeah.
You know what? Trubinsky's. I don't know. He started obviously with the Bears. Just terrible. Maybe he goes somewhere and he becomes that quarterback that everyone thinks he should be. It's hard to say.
Nick Foles, there's another one. Yeah, you can have all of Philly's cast-offs. That could be really work. Maybe Jalen Hurts is available.
Maybe Andrew Luck comes out of retirement.
No, he's making more money than he did before.
For sure.
His commissioners are commissioner.
His dad was for XFL. Yeah, but he's making more money already than he is in the NFL.
They got 70 million. They got 70 million in cap space. They're going to do something with it, and hopefully, it's a quarterback that can, make that team better for the future.
Yeah. What about Calvin Ridley? Let's talk about Calvin Ridley betting on football.
Yeah.
You have $11 million contract, and you decide to put $1,500 down. That's not a really good. I'm losing a lot of money off that. Yeah.
For the record, 5PNU does not condone gambling of any sort.
No, we do not.
But that's unbelievable.
Is that an official bet, or is that just him screwing around?
I think it was an official bet.
He was on injured reserve, or he was leave of absence from the team. And
it was a non-football related injury.
Mental health. And so he put it in a bet app, and that bet app tracks who it is, and that's how they found out who it was.
Yeah.
Now he didn't bet on the team to lose. He didn't do all that, but I mean, realistically, you still can't. It's part of your contract, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of, I just think the NFL needs to get better at divvying out their punishments. I mean, here's this guy; he's losing at least his season, if not his career, because he made a $1,500 bet. But you have all these domestic violence people getting 3 games. To me, it makes no sense. And he didn't play. It was proven that it didn't affect the outcome, and he didn't bet on them to lose. So I don't understand it. I mean, it ruins the integrity. But the NFL needs to work on their image it is. They need to
I think it's across. I think it's every sport that does the same thing. It's kind of a straight across, and you can't bet on your sport, right? I mean, so I get that, and there's worse things out there than what he did, but I think it's a straight across thing. MLB, obviously, with Pete Rose, we could talk about that forever, sure. and then you have NHL and other things like that. It's just a straight across. I think it's comparable across the board with it, but I just can't believe you want to spend $1,500 to lose $11 million. I think that's just. In my head, you have an issue, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
There's a lot smarter ways that he could have dealt with that if he was going to gamble, right? To get caught blatantly like that is not the smartest move.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So let's pay some bills here and bring in our special guest here. So for as little as $2 a month, you can be a patron at patreon.com/5pinuniverse. And help support us bring these bi-weekly podcasts to you. We're at 129 already. They're flying off the shelf here. We're digging a little deep for our hosts, as you can see with Scott here, but he's helping us out.
I'd like to see that list.
Yeah.
It's got to be long.
And we will do an all-star giveaway today. So hashtag all-star giveaway, and you'll be entered into a draw. So please comment in the chat there. And last but not least, All-Star is also sponsoring us for the week again. They are our weekly sponsor, and we can't thank them more than enough. We'll run their quick commercial, and we'll bring in a special guest. hopping around here. Let's bring in our special guest, Pride of the North now, Diamond in the Rough, Mr. Gerald Hafner.
Wow.
How's it going?
Diamond in the rough? It's going good, Kerry. Thanks, buddy.
Yeah, no problem, man.
How are you guys doing?
Good. Good. How you feeling?
Well, a little numb. Hey, I was nervous to start, right? But, you know, pre-show helped, so...
But you have former podcast experience, right?
I do, but you know, when you get a little rusty, because it was every Saturday night, just like you guys are every Wednesday night, right?
Yeah.
And when that went by the wayside because they didn't want to continue it, then you become a little rusty. I'm good now, right? I got my buddy Hoka helping me here, so, you know...
I'm just here for moral support, Gerald.
I'm screwed with my buddy Hoka helping me here. So.
We kind of alluded that you had podcast experience. Could you build that out a little bit? Maybe let us know what it was about, even though it's not continuing on.
Well, Kerry, what there was Colton Van Turve, who is a bowler here in Grand Prairie. He came back to bowling. He always said he came back to bowling because of me and because we promoted the sport. But he had this podcast before called The Giggling Guru. And he did that. Then we decided to start. We had a couple shows at the bowling alley here, right? And did a couple podcasts, threw the balls down the lanes, got drunk, had some fun, and did our thing. And then it became a thing. And then we invited Dwayne Charles in on second year, and it took off from there, right? But everybody's lives have changed a little bit, so you know it's gone by the wayside. But yeah, every Saturday night it was a blast, right?
That's awesome.
It was a blast. Yeah, I enjoyed it, and yeah.
That's awesome. Our lives haven't changed. We're going to be continuing doing this for 10 years. So,
Well, I gotta say, I'm a little pissed. 129. Like, where does that come from? You know, number 129 is a guest. How does that work?
It's better than 500.
130.
Well, as soon as we saw your photo, we had to put you on.
Right? I know.
Yeah.
No, I'm absolutely honored, you guys. I appreciate this, to get the word out there in the North End here and talk about, the sport that we all love, right? So,
Gerald, you've done a phenomenal job with everything in the North. You've quickly become like the new face of the North. You're basically Ed Stark, or Ned Stark, really. King of the North. But
winter is coming.
You might lose your head, but that's something different. But it's good to have you on.
I appreciate that, Dex. I appreciate that. Yeah.
Jeez. So Gerald, why don't we go from the beginning here to give some people your background? How did you get into bowling and get all started with that?
I don't even need this piece of paper for this stuff, right?
No,
I mean, you guys were amazing, right?
You made notes?
Well, no, I was sent notes from the Wiseman boy there, right? So.
Oof. Is it in English?
I think
German.
I think
German. That makes sense.
You know what? I remember when I told you guys I started at 12. I think, you know what? I remember being a family affair when we lived in Grand Prairie back in the day and throwing balls with my sister, right? And she always said I was 6 or 7 years old. I got 4 strikes in a row, and then my bowling career ended. And then I moved to Peace River. Then my bowling career ended. We moved to Peace River. 12 years old is when I started, and me and Mom, she's Dad bowled, and he threw the backup ball. You know how they do it for duck pin? That's what Dad did in 5-pin, right?
Oh.
But Mom, she was my rock when it come to bowling and golfing and pretty much any other sport I did, right? She supported it 110%, as did Dad, but Mom, because she wasn't working, Dad was the worker, right? So, So 12 years old, yeah.
Awesome.
That's crazy, and all in Peace River. Now that bowling center is no longer around, right?
Yeah, no. Like I was telling you guys before, that bowling alley burnt down. I was talking to Guy about it. I don't know, a year or so ago. I think in 04, maybe 03, somewhere in there. And then I don't know what we're allowed to say on here.
You can say whatever you want.
Everything.
But the new bowling alley that they built where the old Home Hardware was has 9 lanes, and it was built by a Chinese gentleman and a French gentleman, and. I guess the number 3 or 4 in Chinese is a bad number, but they didn't do the math on the lanes, so they got 9 lanes. I don't know.
It's a mixture of 5 and 10, isn't it?
They got 3 10-pin, I think, and 6, and then of course 9 5-pin. But yeah, that's all Ukrainian to me. Like, well, how do you do 9? You got a Frenchman, a a Chinese man and a Ukrainian, because I don't know how the heck they built that, right? So, 8 lanes
They
would have
must
been
have
perfect.
a ball return on the outside of the last lane or the
it's
first lane.
it's weird. Yeah, it's weird. And when you walk in, you are lower than the bowling alley. Like the lanes are up above you, so you walk up to the lanes, right? So it's a different setup, but it works.
But I love that stuff. I love bowling alleys that are super unique and different. I mean, we went to Superior Lanes in Thunder Bay, and they're gone now. But like, you know, lane ball return for 1 and 2 was on the right hand side of lane 2, and then the ball return for 3 and 4 is on the left hand side of 3, and it's really neat.
You don't care what they're thinking, but you love it. You know what they built it, right? Exactly. Yeah,
exactly.
So no, like I said, go ahead, Kerry. I'll shut up.
So are they convertibles then? Like 3 of them are convertible?
Well, no, the top doesn't come off, Kerry. It's top stays on. Oh, you mean convertible as in? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. They got 9 lanes of 5-pin also. Yeah.
Okay. Huh.
Yeah, absolutely.
White Court, the white lanes on White Court were like that too. They had 12 lanes and they were 5-pin and 10-pin mix as well.
That was on Millside, yeah.
That's awesome. That's good. How many
Crazy
people
pin
live
action
in,
there.
How many people live in Peace River?
Peace River, probably about 7,000 now, and probably about 5,000 back in my day.
Okay.
Like I said, you know, I remember the days of when I became more of a bowler in my junior year. My YBC was in Dawson Creek, British Columbia.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Dad got an offer to move to Dawson Creek when I was 16, so we had a big going away party. Everybody got shit-faced at 16 years old, and we moved to Dawson Creek, right? and that's where I flourished, was in Dawson Creek. I had some great coaches in Peace River. I had Danny Dixon. I had Roger Scatland. These are guys that even my mom was an amazing coach, right? But you don't listen to your parents when you're coaching, right? That's just how it goes. You know, my daughter, I mean, after a while I had to send her to Tom Patterson, so because she wouldn't listen to me no more, right? So, so when we moved to Dawson, oh man, there's 7 or 8 coaches there that helped me flourish.
So is that kind of where that really great connection that those 2 bowling alleys have kind of started?
I was 16 when I put on my resume here about doing intercity, which is, you know, your guys' Alberta provincials, right? It's our version of the nationals, basically. You know, you got the 6 houses and men's teams, women's teams, mixed teams, and the singles. And Dawson Creek and Fort St. John and Prince George and then Grand Prairie, Peace River, Fairview were always a part of that for 50-ish years, and still going, other than the last couple of years, obviously. So for me, it was a big family reunion. After a while, right? I was there to win for the first 10 years, and then after a while, it became, man, it's good to see these people, you know, and see everybody and just party and have a good time at the banquets and enjoy it, right? So yeah.
Can you list those centers again for the people that don't know about Northern Alberta, Northern BC's intercities?
Absolutely. So Prince George, Fort St. John and Dawson Creek, and then Peace River, Fairview, Grand Prairie.
Yeah.
And we were supposed to be Scott, in our 55th, I think.
55th, yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking at a banner out there, yeah.
This year we were supposed to host, and this would have been our 55th year.
55th, and that's, it's like your guys' provincials and nationals, right? You see a lot of the same people every year. I'm sure you do. I wouldn't know about nationals because, but at provincials, I had Greg Doby. I had, the guys from White Court that I can't remember, John Pongrantz, I had back in the day. He wore a glove on his right hand when he bowled, but because he had arthritis, I think, in his hand. He was an amazing bowler, for Alberta, right? So,
Tom Walker.
Tom Walker. How can you go wrong with that guy, right? So,
I actually didn't know this. I got all Alberta stats. Tom Walker was actually out of Central his first year.
Oh.
Yeah. What about Hank Hoff? Hank's the Hoffs, right?
Just out of curiosity, Gerald, was that a Buffalo again?
Holy shit, Batman. What am I supposed to... What is a buffalo?
You can't drink anything with your dominant hand, including touching the straw.
Well, I'm ambidextrous.
So then you can't drink with your hands.
Oh my lord, here we go.
Just tell Trish to bring you the bottle.
that was a Buffalo Dex. Hank Hoff, though, Tim? Hank Hoff?
Yeah.
He did... What was your question?
Some of the players you used to play back in the day with.
Hank Hoff, Brian Murray, Ray Sylvester,
Brian
Victor,
Murray,
yeah, a lot of these guys, right? And they've gone by the wayside. I mean, Hank and Jer and Mark, they sold the bowling alley 12 or 13 years ago to Barry and Stacy, right? So they've retired and sold both bowling alleys, I think 12 years ago. So, and when they were out, they were done. And I didn't understand that, but after a while you do, right? Because it's everyday public, it's everyday bowling, it's every day. But I love it. I eat this shit up. I love being here, and I got to put up with the Hokas, and the Hatfields and the McCoys. But right? But it's so worth it. It's so worth it.
And you know what, Gerald? If we didn't have you, we wouldn't have lanes. It's plain and simple. If we didn't have someone like you, we wouldn't have a bowling alley.
I appreciate that, and you shouldn't do that shit because I'm drinking and I get all sobby when I do that, right?
Sorry.
But Trish and I do talk about that at night, right? We talk about how the day was and what we've done and going to Medicine Hat this last year and seeing Wiseman and what's her name, Cindy? Is that her name?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's freaking amazing, and that's what it's all about for me is the kids. That's I don't want to get off track with everything, but because I could, but that's what it's all about for me. I thought when Kaylee was aged out, I thought, man, am I going to really enjoy coaching these kids? Because my daughter's gone, right? She's now an adult, but I will get my opportunity to coach her in time, right? So yeah,
exactly.
So I love coaching these kids. It was great. So.
So I'm not sure if we went over the history of that. So when did you take over the center, Gerald?
August of 2019 was our first. August 1st was our first day, and we were slammed, Kerry. We were slammed. Our leagues were full, and then everything was great. And I know Scott says what he said earlier about we don't have a bowling alley if, but I never ever look at it that way. This is what I love. This is what I love to do, just like every other bowling alley owner. And I mean, Sherwood Park's no different, right? But there's a couple of yin yangs in there. But what do you do?
Yeah. Honestly, Gerald, it is funny. It's funny how many proprietors get into bowling that don't like people. And I'm like, what are you doing? What are you doing?
Yeah.
We need people like you who like people.
Yeah, exactly. That's it, right?
Blows my mind.
And we've had our days, we're closed from 5 to 6. Who calls at 5:15? Hoka, right? Can I come in and pre-bowl? Hoka, go fuck yourself. Basically.
Listen, I said just give me a key. Just give me a key. Keep the liquor locked up, and I'll be fine.
To be honest with you, Scott, I hear anybody walks in at 6 o'clock in the morning now.
I guess I should just hang around that time and get in with it.
Jesus.
Oh man. But I mean, I could talk about bowling all day. You guys know that. I love it. My wife loves doing it, and we've had some hard days, and everybody's had some hard days in the last 2 years, right? But I look forward to getting through the summer, and I already see my leagues filling up completely next year because of the word that's out there, and excited about that. So.
Yeah, honestly, when we heard that you guys were taking over, we were super excited. I think we had only met a couple of times before that, but you could tell right away that you're this happy, gregarious guy that just loves to shit talk people, and it's he's gonna be perfect for it.
That's a pretty big word for you, gregarious. How'd you come up with that?
Yeah.
No, you're talking to Dexter.
I'm the Wiseman with a vocabulary. Yeah.
Oh, okay. No, we hear it all the time, you guys. But Trish and I we just keep going. We have some goals in mind, and when we talk about the North, and I don't know how far we're supposed to be into this thing.
We don't have to follow. We just
we're
go
kind
along
of all
with
over the place. We're good. It's good.
And Scott can agree with me on what I'm going to say is, as we build our North, you know what? When we watch Edmonton and Calgary, and possibly Central's a little sparse because of the way they're situated, but you guys are tight-knit communities, and that's our goal. And because my guys and my gals, they go into these tournaments as singles, as individuals. They make teams, for provincials, but then it's okay, how can we have a freaking practice? You got one from Lloyd, you got one from Cold Lake, whatever the situation, right?
Yeah.
But everybody's catching on and everybody's getting the bug and everybody's excited and we're not putting up with negative shit. We're just not doing it. If you're negative, don't be a part of this crap, right? So because what we're building is what you guys do there. You have that team unity, and as Tim has told me 10 times, I'm sure, if not 100, you guys have what it takes. You're just not confident enough, and that confidence comes down to being one team, one unit.
Yeah.
And
You're right. There's a few people that have the confidence. Timmy Sharp.
yeah, no.
That guy's confident.
Oh my God! Don't even get me started, or we'll be hammering on him. No, he's Timmy and Scotty, they're great. I'm talking Olenberger. Scotty Olenberger was in here.
Yeah.
He was in here practicing for an hour today. But the group is getting bigger and bigger, and that's what I'm excited about, because we want to come down there. We want to challenge you guys. We want to show you guys that the North can win. I don't know if North has ever been to nationals have they, Tim Wiseman?
Not men's, but mixed, and one mixed and one ladies.
One mixed and one ladies has. Okay.
Yeah.
So, you guys got to be shut down. You guys are amazing, but you're all human, and you can be beat. Right?
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
There was a year, the first year that Tim and I made nationals, it was, that was 2010. It was coming down to us in the North, and we just edged them out. That was a phenomenal team.
Was that Calgary?
It was Calgary. Yeah.
That was my first year in the Open. I was on mixed team that year, and I think North finished actually second that year.
They did, yeah.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, no, it came right down to the wire, and that team was like headed by Perry Gilliam, and he was just that guy. That guy is just a calming factor, right?
I look at my mixed team now, and I go, oh my God. I mean, you got Timmy and Scotty on there. You got Warren, who everybody didn't count Warren. Warren is a Thursday night bowler, 3 games a week, averages 225. Okay, Warren Levaniak. But he's done that for years, 3 games a week. But he's getting the bug now. His wife is allowing him to do more, right? And he's doing tournaments. He did that frickin' the grudge match, and he was exhausted at the end, because I think he bowled 12 games that day, and he was mentally exhausted, right? Which is that's what I want, for these guys to grind it out and get more games in, more time in, because the provincials is a grind, right? So this is completely off topic now, but you brought it up. How did you guys like the grudge match? Because I have a group chat with Hawka, and Hawka's like, Wiseman's, give me a format, and I've always wanted that format ran. How did you guys enjoy it? Everybody loved it.
Good.
The 16 games in one day. Okay, for the girl that won it, she's got a 160 average. She bowls 3 games a week, right? But she lit it up, right?
Yeah.
Billy Joe lit it up, right?
Yeah.
So she deserved to win. And you got Richie Bolio from Dawson Creek, who I think was semis with her. I can't remember who's in the finals.
It was
Billy Joe and Megan. Yeah. And so, she beat Richie, and Richie knew it, right? He knew, frick, I got fucking 90 pins to make up every game, but that's what this tournament's about.
Yeah.
Right? So, but
that's awesome.
It was fun watching these guys. Sorry, Dexter.
No.
It was fun watching these guys pick their grudge match after you get to the 16s.
Yeah.
It was fun watching that, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's what we've always wanted to try to run it, and we still talk about it every year. Run that as our B-side. That's a Buffalo for
fuck.
That's another Buffalo.
Left hand.
Oh, that's a false Buffalo, Scott.
That's a ring
Scotty.
finger.
That's a Buffalo. We've always wanted to try to run it for the B side of our TPC, because it's supposed to be random anyways.
Oh, okay.
Not seeded, so that's something that we may still consider doing down the road, because I think
we're heavily thinking about it.
Well, that's going to be an annual for us for sure.
Awesome.
And I don't know what I'm drinking, dear. Vodka, I think. But,
I will say, though, I was a little disappointed Gerald didn't make it to the top 16, but
and I only missed my 40 pins, but I was so drunk, right?
I bowled all 8 games with him. He was.
They wouldn't tell me what place I was in, and they wouldn't show me. If I'd have known I was 30 pins out going to the last game, I would have lit her up. You know what I'm saying? Like
You were lit up, but
like the real Gerald would have come out and he would have won that thing, right? So anyway,
Jesus. Well, speaking of the real Gerald, many people out there, we didn't know. Is that with your career accolades, you had 12 400s? 12
yeah,
400s?
that's correct.
Yeah. 12 400s, and then you had a high 418. And these aren't no tap. We did get this certified ahead of time.
If I could come through the computer right now, I would. You know what I'm saying?
At over 1,000 triple and a 1,300 quad. That's pretty good there, Gerald, though.
My 1,042 was in P server, and again, it was Mike's Hard Lemonade. You know, and and the guy on lane 9 and 10 who was watching me, I was just, that groove you guys get in, right? And that's what happened. That's what happened. And the quad was in Saskatoon at King George Bowl.
Oh,
Gee.
Oh, I did all that stuff, you guys. You guys weren't even in puberty at that point, right?
We weren't born. we were.
Well, okay, you're 30, I'm 60, okay, yeah, maybe.
Yeah, we were still at my dad's balls.
Oh my God. Well, I'm not going to do it. But, those were the Tom Patterson days and the Gordon Fleck days. Gordon Fleck, the first year I went, man, that guy's got a big right to left hook, and nobody bought him in the Calcutta. He bought himself for $50, and he won the whole thing because nobody knew him. He was from Kelowna. Huge right to left hook. Threw 1,000 his last match to win the whole thing, right? But Tom Patterson, that guy, as good as he is now, as good as the guy he is now for the game, right? Back then, he wanted to win, right? So he was a different man back then. He talks about that lots, right? So
yeah.
But yeah, I did all those tournaments back then. So yeah.
Oh. Didn't know that, Gerald.
Well, you wouldn't know that, okay? Because you don't talk to me very often.
Well, and also it wasn't on your accolades either, so that's
and I thought about that after, Dexter. I did think about that because I did go to those tournaments quite a bit. Yeah.
Yeah. What was your best showing at it, and how did you enjoy it?
I got to the semi. Sorry, because there was A and B sides. Are there still A and B sides in these things?
Yeah.
Okay, so man, oh man. I think I made $2,200 was the most I made. I got to like quarters, I think, and then got beat by a guy from Winnipeg. I remember I threw 740, but he threw lights out, right? So it was actually over in the 8th frame of the last game. So, but you know what? That was good for me. I made better money in poker. So.
Oh yeah, there were some decent games back then. I hear, that's for sure.
There was, and it was fun to watch. And like that quad I threw. When I was done my first 4 out of the 8, I had, I think, 900 or 850 for 4. And I said to my buddy who came with me, fuck, man, if I don't do this, it's my last shift. I got to make it. Your back's against the wall, right? And I threw that 13.6, whatever it was. What did I write down?
13.21.
Thanks, guys. Yeah. But I told my buddy Danny Tilson, who's still a good friend of mine, I said, don't talk to me. I'm good for 4 games. Leave me alone. And that's what I went and did, right? And he did. He left me alone, right? So
yeah.
And I made the cut. I was in like 50th spot, got into 17th with that 1,300 quad, right? So yeah, that was good. I mean, the numbers were different back then. And King George Bowl,
insane.
Right? Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Just had to hit the middle.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Left hand. Okay, we're good. Ring finger.
Perfect.
Oh shit!
So you made the open team 4 times in 81, 85, 88, and 84. Is that what it says?
84.
And you guys missed one, but that's okay. I'll let it slide.
Which one did I miss?
I had Lynn Howell as a coach. My first year back.
2014.
Calgary.
2016. Yeah,
Calgary.
2016.
Calgary. Yeah, that was my first year back. And Lynn, I hadn't bowled. I'm telling you
Where
guys.
was that, sorry?
What's
Calgary?
that? Calgary, yeah. Lynn Howell's my coach. And this is when I first went, oh, this is serious shit. Because Lynn phoned me up because I was on his team. He's the coach. And I'm in Grand Prairie, and he's in Calgary, or wherever the hell Lynn is, right? Yeah. And he phones me up to tell me, you're my go-to guy. I said to him, Lynn, I fucking haven't bowled seriously in 10 years, so don't be hard on me, right? So the first day I come out with 320. We had Daniel Dubois on the team. Yeah. Because we had to pull a couple from Edmonton.
Yeah.
right? Because we were short that year. And Jen Baldwin was on the team.
Right.
And one other young lady.
Marissa Raymond.
Thank you. She was awesome, man.
Yeah.
So mellow, right? So mellow, Marissa. But Lynn led me off. I started out, 323. And then, 8 games is a lot in one day when you're out of shape. And I kept telling Howell that. Right? I said,
He can't make the days shorter.
give me a
He worked-
timeout, buddy. No, you're
like a
staying
government
in.
mule.
He did. And, I think I took 5-3 that day. And I think I lost to, I want to say, God, I get these guys mixed up. Mitch Davies and from Edmonton.
Matt Schultz.
Thank you. I frickin' call them Mitch and Matt. I go the opposite every time. And they
One's
just
6.5 feet, the other one's 4 feet. So
it doesn't
it's not
matter.
hard to mix up.
I was new at the time, and Matt just laughed at me, right? So and he was tough to beat. Obviously, he's a good bowler to watch, right?
Yeah.
So, and that's where I got the bug again. Of course, I got the bug with my daughter when that started, when Kaylee started, producing, right? So, yeah. They'll shut up. I can talk all day.
No, it's all good.
That's what you're here for.
But it's all about Hoka, I thought, because you brought him in as a
Nope.
Moral support. Keep you on the tracks.
when I look at what you guys had here, like even 2 years ago, right? When we go backwards 2 years, and I've been trying my whole freaking life, to make nationals, my whole life. I wanted to do it once. I just wanted the experience, and of course we made it. And of course, there's bigger fish to fry than what really happened, but twice for me, right? It could have been 3 because I think we had the men's team to beat Edmonton in 2020, right? I really do. Oh, you can laugh now, fucking Wiseman there. You can laugh now.
I'll be honest with you, Gerald. Like when everything shut down and nationals got canceled, I had to let my Masters team know, and like some of that was hard. I had to call everybody, and I did, and then I tried to call Robbie Wolfson, and he asked for a Zoom call instead because he was having a Zoom call with his mixed team for the Open or something at that point. And I was like, okay, and I had to face to face. It was tough because Robbie had to play so good to make that team in the final day, and that guy has worked so hard over the 10 years to try to break through.
Yeah.
He did it, and then it got pulled away. So I felt horrible for him, and then I felt absolutely horrible for you.
Yeah,
I felt horrible for you. You had 2 nationals taken away.
Yeah.
It was it was rough.
I actually had 3 because I know we would have won against Edmonton and Calgary. So
What about Central?
Central, no. Who you got on there? Gino? Come on. Jesus Christ. Come on.
Not even giving the host any credit.
Yeah.
You weren't there. You weren't there, buddy.
Carrie.
Carrie, you were there. You're Central, Carrie? I don't know that, Carrie. Are you Central? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we would have
Wait.
kicked your ass anyway. So
Was he on a team?
what's
Probably
that?
not.
Well, I don't think you were on a team.
No, that's why COVID didn't really affect me.
Yeah, no, he was fine. He was fine. You made it right.
But as I get into this more and more, it's what I love to do, right? I go to IP, I see Tim and Cindy, they're becoming staples in this thing, they're there all the time, and they're funny. Gerald, you would have won. Who said that?
Lenny
Len
and
Anseth.
Seth.
He's
Len?
not right.
Yeah, number 128. How can you guys wait for 128 for Len?
That was
what
the
I was
second
No,
time he was
that's
on.
the second time. He's
Oh!
a classic winner. That's
Holy
why.
shit, Batman. Okay, Len, good for you.
He got to get on twice before you.
Wow. I'm a little hurt. Okay, I'm over it. I'm good. Yeah, I appreciate that, Len. We had a really good team, You had Robert and Dustin, and the 6th spot was a 260 average that year.
Yeah.
And that's what you have to look at, right? So,
Yeah.
And that was Rolly from frickin', I don't know, is he from
Rolly
Tuck to
Pritchard's.
Yuck Tuck? Yeah, he's from Tuck to Yuck Tuck or something, right?
St. Paul, yeah.
Yeah, same thing, right? So
Rolly's so good too.
he is so
yeah.
good, right?
yeah.
And he didn't try out this year. I don't know if it's because it was here. Or...
No, he had me. I heard he broke his hip.
Oh shit! Just bad
So
timing then. Okay.
I think he's going. I think he's not going to come back anymore. No,
Okay.
unfortunately, yeah. But
Well,
Rolly, Rolly's a good player though.
you got to get him as level 2 then, and he can be a coach because his mindset for things like that would be amazing because he understands.
And we need his guitar.
Yeah, that's what I was just gonna say.
Yeah.
I'm just in it for his guitar at the
Okay,
hospitality
yeah.
room.
Exactly right. Well, we got to bring him to provincials then, right? So,
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
But it's great. It's great to see you make those things. It's great to see you succeed at those things, especially since you've become such a face of the North. It's nice seeing you succeed in those things because that's going to drag along everybody else with you too.
I appreciate that, and that's my goal, Dexter, deep down, and Scott knows that now, that we're ground roots and we're starting over, and I can't wait. These guys are getting the bug. We're bringing guys in. I mean, let's bring a name up here. Ian Hill, bold YBC with the guys, the Timmies and the Scotties and the Carters, right? He bowled YBC with these guys, and he took time off until we took over, and then he starts coming back, and now he's getting the bug. He's doing tournaments. Right now he's 170, 180 average bowler, maybe 190, but it takes time, and that's who we push. We got Carter Stretch in here, no word of a lie, and Scott will attest to this, because Scott was struggling. And he said, bring Carter in. Carter sees things that I don't see. Yeah. And Carter's amazing. And you can't just... These fucking kids, these kids they get tired of our voice. But they get tired of our voice. They do. And so we brought Carter in, worked with Scott, and it helped. Carter's working with Grace and who else is there? Evan Paul, right? Working with these guys consistently. They come in, they give them lane 11 and 12. I don't charge them. They're here to practice and get better, right? So that's what it's all about, right? So, and Carter's amazing with that. Carter's Stretch. That's a shout out to you, buddy. Yeah.
So,
yeah.
What about, Brian brings up a good point about your Pro League. How has Pro League been up there for you guys in GP?
It's been exciting. I mean, we're trying hard to get some people here this Sunday to cheer us on, especially for that first match, because I know you guys want us to take 2 points, and that's why you're jacking this up right now, so that we can...
Is it working?
We're going into, we're in it to win it, right? So,
yeah.
So we got 23, we know we need 13 or 14 points in our 2 matches, and, I'm at a standstill. Me and Scott talked about this yesterday morning when he helped me do bottles and stuff at the bottle depot. He needed some money, so I fucking said, let me take my bottles in, buddy. Right?
Hey, gas is expensive.
Well, and that's the thing. So we went in, we got
$20.
But he wouldn't fucking rip open the bags. I had to do that, but I still gave him the $160 worth of bottles, right? So, but you know what? We're trying to create that. For that is hard, right? Because when it's just one-on-one, with no people watching. But we're trying to get 9 or 10 people down to liven it up, especially for that first match, right? So, we're 9 and 11, which I think you guys set up intentionally for us to lose, right? But why can't we ever bowl back-to-back? I don't understand that. What's going on? Talk to me, boys.
Hey, so well. Speaking of travesties, what do you do with Haka? I mean, he's struggled all year so far, right?
He has, and he's been really up. He has, and he's been upfront with me about it, right?
Yeah.
But he's a tournament bowler, and I sit there. You know what? I don't want to fucking butter him up because he pisses me off half the time, right? But you know what? When we talk about people in Grand Prairie.
Yeah.
And we talk about our president, who is our local president. Who else do you want there? The guy knows everything about 5-pin. The guy knows how to initiate income for 5-pin. Yeah. He knows all that stuff. But as a bowler, he sucks. So what do you do?
No word of a lie.
He's getting better. Him and I don't know how it happened, but on our Pro League or our Monday Night Competitive League, we got stuck together. Right, so he had to pull one name out of the hat because I think were you first to pull, Scott?
Yeah,
and he
that's what happened. That's just what happened, and I wanted a redraw, but
I know I did too.
There's a part of the game where integrity comes in, and I saw Gerald's name, and I was like, oh, I guess I'm stuck with him for 12 weeks.
Wow, yeah. But you know what? It's a tough one because I told Scott yesterday, I'm weighing between 2 of them for that. That 5th spot. I've got my lineup in my head. I'm ready to go, except for 2 guys, right? I've got the rest figured out. So, but we want to win. So I have to take that into consideration. So, and I know he's going to be ready if we do it. As long as he's aggressive, he's good. You guys talked about that in one of our shows.
Yeah.
Is that he's not aggressive enough, right? So there we go. Paradise Marvel. You guys suck, okay? No, we love you guys. It's all good.
Some good games there. Paradise and GP and Panorama, and Timmins and GP against Panorama.
I think you could even blame your scheduling issue with Paradise Marvel, because I think they needed to play the early match. I do believe
okay.
That
Okay.
may have been an issue there.
Well,
I could have done some switching around, but I felt like you guys needed the break in between matches to have a few suds. So
Yeah,
that's,
a few Baileys
that's my
and coffee,
excuse.
a few
Baileys
beer
and coffee,
clam.
baby. Yeah, that's right. That's right. No, I'm excited about it, and whatever happens, there's always next year. And we pick we've got a great team, but things will change, right? And Curtis Kaplan, who's he?
The team manager for Paradise Marvel.
Curtis, love you, buddy. Love you.
I think I gotta make you like a picture book and just have everyone's names in there with their pictures, just so you know who's who.
You know who
future
knows who's who. It doesn't matter who you talk to. Carter Stretch. He went on. He knows. I'm talking from Ontario to frickin' Vancouver. He knows everybody, right? And when we bring a name up, he goes, "Oh yeah, blah 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 blah." Right? I go, "Shut up, Carter!" Like,
Tracy,
you're in real trouble.
You're in trouble with Tracy. Yeah.
Do you know who Tracy is?
I'm afraid I do. I'm gonna flex, Tracy. I'm gonna flex for you.
Oh my God.
Oh, that's awesome.
You know what? Everybody knows that this is what you guys started and created for us through COVID was amazing. It gave somebody something to look. It gave us all something to look forward to. And I know you guys understand that. You guys are the same as me. You do this because you love what you do, and you're not worried about the recognition. You're not worried about, everything. What's so fucking funny, Dexter? Tell me. You're not worried.
Tracy's feeling a little bit inspired, maybe to crush you guys.
Is she bowling or coaching?
She's definitely bowling.
Okay. Oh, Tracy Smith. You know who I'm thinking of? Who owns Calgary?
Stacy.
Thank you. I get those mixed up. It's like getting Mitch and the other guy.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I don't know how you get those two mixed around. Like there's like 8 feet of height difference between.
It doesn't matter.
Like it's just.
It doesn't matter. I'm colorblind. Okay, I can't see. Okay.
That explains a lot then.
Oh my lord! I tell you. Some guy just walked by the front of the bowling alley here because I'm looking out at the lanes and gave me the finger.
That could have been one of 100 people.
Well, it wasn't. It was one. Anyway, I'm excited about Pro League, and like I said, you know what? Whatever happens, we're out to win it this weekend, obviously, and as is those other people from wherever they're from. But but those two that commented. But if it doesn't, we know there's next year because I believe you guys will keep this stuff going.
Yeah.
It's amazing, you guys, what you've done here, and I'm sorry that I never bought a bowling alley earlier. I'm sorry I never got going in it earlier. As far as this part of it goes, my dad in 1970, I'd have been 15-7, tried to buy Peace River Bowl, and back then, hey, you can't fucking leave. And back then, $180,000 in '77 was a lot of money.
That's a lot of money.
For a bowling alley. And Dad tried so hard because he knew that that would be our lifeline, right? And that's where we would be. There's a lot of good bowlers in Peace River right now. You've got the mullet, right? Dustin Thompson.
Thompson.
You got Justin Olsen there, and there's 4 or 5 others that Dustin's pushing along.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's been in my blood my whole life. The break I took was because we started our own company, a cleaning company. I got out of bowling because I'm working basically 24/7, and then when we got back to it, it was when Kaylee started bowling at 3 years old. You know, they weren't going to let her in because she was too young. I said she's disciplined. She's already in Taekwondo. She'll be fine, and she was right. So, and that first year, she's 3 years old. She got second in Alberta in dynos for whatever it was. I guess the one they do in house, right?
Oh,
one
the
they do
Faxon, yeah.
Yeah, the Faxon, right? And that was her first year, right? That was a pretty proud mom and dad there, right? So, moment, and it's just flourished from there. So, Buffalo. Hoka.
We'll have you trained by the Open.
Hoka, when I'm talking, you don't walk away, buddy. Okay?
I needed to refill. I'm sorry. I don't have anyone here to mix me drinks while I'm on this.
What time do you open up in the morning on Thursdays, Gerald?
We open at 9 because we have a ladies' league.
All right. So who's going to open for you tomorrow?
My wife. She is the backbone. You guys know this. She's the backbone of the bowling alley. I'm telling you, today at 5 o'clock, we had some people coming in at 4:30. They the poor buggers. He wanted to get his kids in for a pre-bowl for Saturday, and we close at 5. And I'm so, my whole life I've run businesses and I'm punctual. It's like, okay, it's 5 o'clock. Fucking shut her down. But you can't do that in bowling, right? They got 3 games. These kids have 3 games to bowl. You sit with them and you have your supper with them and you bullshit with them. Eva, one of the girls that was on the team, her family. Craig's probably watching tonight. And he was just stressed right out when he come in. I said, "No, don't worry about it. We'll be all right, right? It's one day, one time." But yeah. So what was the question, Dexter?
Oh yeah, who is gonna open? Who is gonna open for you tomorrow? Because I think the morning might be rough.
The ladies' league. My wife will open up ladies' league.
Good.
Yeah.
She's
So-
amazing.
I think that's a great intro. I mean, you guys are a family-owned business, so maybe you can talk about Trish a little bit because she is the star of HJ's.
She's the absolute star. I mean, you guys. Oh, Megan just gave me the finger. You guys know this. That's just the way it works. I mean, we can't hire a lot of people right now. It's Trish and I. We just brought Sean Tompkins on to help us because my son got a full-time job, so he had to back out. Sean's amazing, but Trish, all the paperwork, I'll tell you what, this is how my wife is, okay? We're fucking slammed. Saturday, we're slammed, 8 o'clock. There's a tangle. The phone rings. She's doing the tangle. She answers the fucking phone while she's doing the tangle, right? Yeah. Takes a booking for whatever time. But that's who she is, and she loves it, and she doesn't want to give this up. Yeah. And she loves what she does, and we're getting to a closer place, Trish and I, where we can just have the bowling alley, and we have our cleaning company. I may never give that up because it's pretty cushy. I got great people. What a bunch of assholes! I got a lot of good people working for us in our cleaning company, not to get off topic, but it helps me to be able to do this full time, right? So, but Trish, you guys know that. You guys know that. That's just the way it is in this business. And she doesn't like the mic much, so you guys know that's me. But other than that, she does everything. I don't even know how to explain it. I've got it easy. When it's time to do tensions, she does tensions. When it's time to do a string, she does. I don't know how to redo a string. I'm telling you the truth. So.
He's not lying.
I'm not lying. No, she's a farm girl, right? So the mechanical side of her kicks into gear, and she loves it. When Barry and Stacy were showing us the first year when we took over, Barry took us through, and we cut all the strings. Holy fuck, 60 pins, right? But once Trish got going, it was nothing. But the repetitive thing, she doesn't forget that stuff where I do, because I'm old, right? So I don't forget that stuff, right?
Jesus.
Yeah. I'm just gonna leave this question up here until you decide to answer it.
Okay.
What is your favorite bowling moment with your daughter?
Oh my God. So you guys shouldn't even do that shit. That's not fair.
Hey,
hold on.
Talk to her.
Kaylee, are you on here somewhere?
Yeah. She's the one that asked the question.
Oh my God. Come on. Did you guys put the picture up of her? I sent you pictures, Tim, of naked guys bowling and.
No. I didn't give any of those.
You guys, that's not Kaylee. Kaylee, that's not fair. But hold on. there's many with Kaylee. I mean, when you guys reach puberty and you have your own kids, you'll understand what I'm talking about here, right? But with Kaylee, you know what? She's a disciplined girl, and she'd go to these provincial tournaments. You guys know this. And when I was coaching her, I coached the girls' team for, I think, 5 years in a row. And she was always my leader. She was always there for me. And we would stand up at the foul, or not the foul line, but for her ready to bowl, when she knew she was out of a provincial tournament, when she didn't make the top 3, we'd sit there looking at the pins, having a cry together. Nobody else saw it but us, because she knew that, okay, that mistake happened, whatever it was, shit happens, right? Top 3 are out. We'd have a cry, we'd carry on. She's such a good sport. She's happy for her friends that win. She keeps in contact with all those girls today. But of course, I think my favorite is when she won POA. You know, that year, her 5th game was a 151 out of 6. And Tegan McCarr, it's McCarr, right?
Yeah.
What an amazing kid, right? An amazing bowler. And her and Kaylee were always bashing heads, right? On the lanes. Off the lanes, they were friends. And Kaylee threw a 151, and she was sitting in second. And she come off the lanes, and she goes, Dad, did I bowl myself out of this? And I said, you're never out of it, ever. So she didn't know what place she was in. She didn't look. So we get up there for the 6th game. I go look. She's in 5th. And she said, leave me alone this game. I said, you got her, kid. I mean, she banged out for a 343 her last game. I watched the other girls, their chops never happened. They started getting, I watched it change. And I'm not saying nothing. And Corey Peugeot come over, and she wanted to say something to Caitlin. I said, leave her the fuck alone, right? And Corey got it right away, right? She said, okay. I mean, she was on, whatever it was a 343. And she come off the lane. You know, we had our good cry, right? She said, did I do it? I said, I don't know. But if you did it, you did what you had to do. As a bowler, you did what you had to do. You threw the biggest game you could possibly throw. And, of course, that got her the POA champ, right? And she wasn't that far out of the singles champ, like the scratch side, right? But, yeah, you guys shouldn't do that shit to me, okay? You know?
She did it. She did it. Stop being mad at us.
Okay. No,
We're innocent.
I look forward to the day she gets back and starts bowling again. I mean, she's made an amazing transformation health-wise. I mean, she was, you know what? She's might be embarrassed to talk about this, but she was sitting at 300 pounds at one time, and now she's $170. You know, so she's just eating right, doing things right, and you know what? When she comes bowling again, it's going to be starting over from scratch, right? Because your body's changed. Right? You know, you're not throwing around your body anymore. Just give me a second here, you peckerheads. Oh, man. Kaylee,
you probably should wipe your face after calling us peckerheads.
Kaylee, you're grounded, okay? But you know what? She's working through some stuff. You guys know that, and I can't wait till that day comes. It's getting better. It's getting closer. So, I've stopped pushing as a dad. You know, old school, my dad back in the day would have said, fuck that, let's go, right? But these days you can't. And Jesus. And so, anyway, enough about that. You know, mental health's a tough one, but she's making herself out there. She's putting herself out there to get better, and because she wants to get better, and she's very close. So,
awesome.
But love you, Kaylee, and that was awesome. I can't believe you guys did that to me. I don't like crying. Did you?
Too funny.
I'm about being real, right? You guys know that
absolutely,
about me. You guys know that about me. I don't have a filter, and I don't hold back. And you know.
No, you don't have a filter. Yeah.
You know, I've known Gerald for 10 plus years, and the bond that he has with Kaylee is you see it from other parents, but those two together, when it comes to bowling, that's their passion.
Yeah.
And it shows it on the lanes, it shows it off the lanes. That's their passion together.
Yeah. I appreciate that, buddy. Even golf. She was a good golfer, but she didn't follow it. Holy shit. I got pictures of her swing back in the day, but, you know, the kid grows up, I don't want to golf, right? So, but me, I mean, I throw I golf like Hoka, right? I throw, you know, in the 70s most of the time, right? So,
I've yet to see it.
I know, because you don't ask me out, you son of a bitch. So what are we supposed to do? You know.
You did say you throw in the 70s, so that instantly tells me how good your golf is.
My last seniors open at the Dunes, I won the Dunes. I shot 77, and that was good, right? I mean, I was under par after 9, and then I started drinking, so I shot 77, right? So. Because I thought I got these old timers in the bag, right? But it was pretty close. But yeah, anyway, yeah.
Blame the alcohol.
I do every time.
It's a smart move. It's like checking your shoe when you throw a bad shot.
I
Always
don't do
check the
that.
shoe.
I don't do that.
Well, that's a rookie move. You should really put it in your repertoire.
Speaking of rookies, Kerry, we've got a lot coming in this year for provincials. You know, because of the motivation that we pushed out there. You got Grace, and you've got Warren, and you've got even Alvin Anderson, the coach. He says to me, I said, Alvin, you want to coach the men's team? Yeah, we'll go have fun. I said, Alvin, this is not fucking YBC. I said, right? Right? This is not YBC. Buddy, you got your hands full. And I said, especially with Hoka, because he'll want to coach you, right? Hoka want to coach the coach, right? Because Scott likes it. Scott's mind is in it so much, right? He's such an asset to the game, and he just speaks it as you're going through it, right? So yeah. Anyway,
Rookies.
what else we got here?
Well, yeah, maybe we can talk about it. Obviously, you reinvigorated the North a lot. What are some things you like to see 5-pin bowling go or to grow towards?
Well, for me, Tim, it's Tim or Dexter. Which one are you? For me, Tim, the growing part on the adult side is obvious. But you know what? A lot of the guys are going to your what's coming up, Scott? What's the Red Deer?
Traditional in May.
In May,
Mother's Day weekend.
In Red Deer, right?
Yeah.
There's 4 or 5 guys going from here now. That's exciting. You know, you got Mike Top in there, who, when we took over the lanes, this guy would come in, or this lefty would come in, top physical condition, bald head, tattoos, but chuck 250 every game. Right? And I thought, who is this guy? And so I started, you and me, I got to have this guy bowling, right? But he talked about his kids, getting his kids in first, with both Alex and Miles are both in our YBC program. But you got Mike Top, who's amazing lefty, right? And what was the question?
What would you like? What would you like to see change or grow in 5-pin bowling?
On that, sorry, Kerry.
No, you're good. You're good. I like it.
On that side, it's obviously on the grown-up side. We want to be a competitor from the North. Scott wants to be a competitor. Those other 20 guys and gals want to be competitors, not just from Grand Prairie. I'm talking from Vegreville and from Lloyd and from. Well, we didn't have Tom from Cold Lake this year. Tom won it a couple years ago or 3 years ago. Was a really good bowler, right? But I get it how life gets in the way. So that's what I want on the adult side. On the YBC side. When me and Tim were talking in Medicine Hat, there's Mike Top. But he's a sexy bitch, let me tell you. But anyway,
Jesus Christ.
But on the YBC side, I want our youth, and so myself and Trish and Rob and oh my God. From Lloyd. I forgot her name. Help me.
Oh, Jody.
Thank you. Rob and Jody from Lloyd. Yeah. We're talking lots. And we want to take, I told Tim, we want to take 2 contingents. Yeah. Right? And because everybody else does. You know, we take 2 contingents. And I mean, we're doing great on the POA side, but I noticed on our scratch side this year, we moved up the board. And I know how this works. And you guys know how this works as you go through it, right? So it's exciting for our bowlers that are youth bowlers that there's 10 or 12. You got to be 12 years old, right, to bowl this thing. So we've got at least a dozen coming up, right? And Rob talks about, I mean, those guys are amazing what they're doing in Lloydminster. They got 2 leagues going. I'm going. You got 30,000 fucking people in your town, and you got 2 leagues going, and I got 75,000 people. And what am I doing, right? I got the 1 league, right? I got 2 leagues. I got 2 shifts on Saturday. but not the numbers he has. So I keep pumping that, because in our first year we did have like 60 YBCers. This year, of course, it was a little less because of the obvious, but that's my goal. Get 2 contingents, get these kids in there. Once they get there, they're going to have fun.
Yeah.
All 3 of my kids that came from Grand Prairie this year, the rest were from Lloydminster and around, had an amazing time, right? And they talk about it still. So that's my huge goal.
Yeah, it's getting them hooked, right? Getting them to the provincial levels, or even really good zone rounds and stuff like that. As long as they're excited and having fun and have a great experience, that's how you get them hooked on the sport, right?
Yeah.
It's the bad experiences. That's where you lose the kids and stuff like that. And hopefully they work on that.
But I tell them all. I mean, you guys, man, oh man, we have some history in the last 4 or 5 years at our provincial level with our youth, but those kids have grown up and gotten better. You know, they're good people. They bowl in our grown-up leagues, and they're not who they were, right? So they've gotten better and grown up. But the goal is, when I bowled with my girls or my mixed team in Medicine Hat, I said, win or lose, if somebody bowls a good game, you congratulate them on that good game, because one day that'll be you.
Yeah.
And what's going to happen, right? Are you going to, people are going to come up to you and congratulate you. So that's how that works, full circle, right? So. So that's my goal with both is with the youth. Tim, you're looking at the clock like we're done.
No, I'm saying, like, I remember, like, I watched the last, like, say 10 youth challenges, right?
Yeah.
And nothing against North. I mean, North had their players there, but it's a different energy coming from them now.
Yeah.
Where, like, they were just going there just to participate, and now they're going there to win or do well, right? And it's super nice to see that all around, and it's just not just in this event. It's the Open. I mean, the Open, like I was saying for many other times, you guys have a good North team, and with playing at Bonnie Doon, it just narrows that field down, right? And I really think you guys can compete there. And obviously, we've talked about the IP, where you guys won 2 years in a row.
Sorry, I'm listening.
You guys won 2 years in a row from that, right?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I think it's really good all around to do that, right? It's nice to see that.
That was exciting stuff, and I know Timmy and Scotty and Megan and who was the other one?
Lori. Yeah.
They hung on to that, and it's hard to let that shit go. But I told them, there's bigger fish to fry, and you guys are going to get there again, right? So
why did you just turn into Michael Jackson?
Well, what did I do? Choke myself? No, my wife sent me a note when you pound the table, because I'm talking like this. The TV shakes up on lane 7 and 8. So I guess. Come and say hi, Trish, real quick. Come and say hi. She's got a broom and a dustpan in her freaking hand. Come and say hi.
Yeah, we just heard the glass smash.
Right? There we go. There's the rock behind it, right?
Yeah.
So,
it's nice to hear you talking about talking with Jody lots too. I mean, the one thing that we've always been very lucky about in Edmonton is, like, our proprietors all work really well together.
Yeah.
And I could see you and Jody seeing the world exactly the same way. She's hilarious. She's
I know.
Straight shooter.
When we were at Youth Challenge, what night weren't we allowed to drink?
Thursday.
Every night.
Oh, we're not allowed to drink Thursday?
No, you. No, but anyways, let's just Thursday.
Change the subject.
Yeah, no, Thursday you were fine.
Okay, Thursday I'm fine.
Yeah.
Shit, I won $1,600 at the casino. Anyway, yeah.
Yeah.
No, Jody and Rob are amazing, and they're all about their kids, and they have 2 shifts going, Saturday and I think Tuesday or Wednesday.
Yeah.
And Rob and I we talked about it when we were in Medicine Hat about getting 2 contingencies going, right? And I believe we'll have the numbers for next year to do that, right? And I know the North is struggling financially to get things going because of what's happened in the past. But Scott Hoka just did an example of how this can work so easily to raise the money for the North to pay for the hotels, etc. Right? I don't know how much I'm allowed to say, but thank you, Edmonton. No, I'm serious. I know that you guys know what that's all about, and thank you for getting us out of that jam. That meant the world to me. It took the pressure off my shoulders. I didn't like my room, but I'll take it, okay? But
Did you get the handicap suite?
well, it had a vibrating bed. What do you do, right?
How did you not like that?
You stayed at Tim's house then.
Tim's got a house in Medicine Hat. Holy crap! But no. And so as we now once the summer hits, Northern Alberta 5-pin with the new name can now start. But as Scott has said to us and to Bonnie, there's many different ways to raise money without needing AGLC, right?
Yeah.
So, and that's what we're looking towards, because we don't want anybody paying for the North. Here we go. So we get we have our provincial roll off. We got our 20 bowlers, whatever it was, and our coaches. Megan Clark starts a silent auction. Megan Clark, she's here tonight. We raised $3,200 in that frickin' silent auction, and all this money is going to hotels for provincials. We've got the boards going on the side. We've called it the strike board because whoever gets picked out has to throw a ball just to keep it legal, right? But that's amazing to do these little things, because I don't want anybody paying out of pocket to provincials. I always said to them, frickin' Edmonton, Calgary, whatever, they go there and they're taken care of, and that pisses me off that we're not, right? It does.
They get new shirts every year. They have bowling bags, towels,
Same shirts every year. Same shirts every year.
Sorry, I'm getting a cramp. I'm getting a Charlie horse. Seriously, I'm stretched out here. Here, we'll do this. So there we go. So, it's...
There's the view we were looking for.
But that's what it's all about. Is for a lot of our bowlers, they can't afford it. I sponsor 1 to 2 people every year for provincials. Me and Trish decided we would do that our first year. Okay, who are we sponsoring this year to pay their $200 to bowl provincials to see if they can make it, right? And that's what we do every year for those people that are. What are you laughing at, Dexter? To pay for those
comments. There's comments going on here.
Oh, is there? They're supposed to see me. Nice tits, isn't he? Hey, you know what's going to happen is he's going to win high single of the year, right? He threw that 418, you guys, that we had there a month or so ago, right? He's a candle pin bowler. We piss him off and tell him it's candlestick. Right, that just irks him because he's from Newfoundland or wherever the hell he's from, right?
And they play boxes, not frames, and
is that what it is? See, I didn't know that.
And no boxes instead of frames and strings instead of games.
All Izzy used to tell me is that he used to have to, because he was younger, right? That he would. All the fights that broke out in these bowling alleys, right? So I guess in Newfoundland they fight when they bowl. I don't know, Rick.
I can contest the candle pin because I've played it the last 2 summers. I've been back to New Brunswick.
Have you?
And it is one of the funnest times you can ever have in a bowling alley, next to a Sunday at a tour event.
You know what those are like?
What's that?
No, I said you know what those are like.
Only this year.
No, that was good.
Only because my flight was until 10 o'clock that night.
Jesus.
No, and
candle pin is awesome.
Sorry, I'm just getting rid of the cramp. I'm right here. New Brunswick was where I'm from. It doesn't matter, is he Newfoundland, Nova Scotia? It's all the same down there, okay, buddy?
Oh, okay. Quite a few of our viewers are from the East, so let's not alienate them.
And that's how we'll keep it, okay? It's from the East.
Yeah, for sure. That's right. Yeah.
Wait, is that from that's from Toronto over, isn't it? That's a pretty big area.
Yeah,
right?
It's pretty large.
That's why I need to be off the hook with this, okay? So.
Yeah, fair enough.
Oh man.
And Izzy is one of our up and coming. I mean, he's a welder, right, in the oil field, and he wanted to bowl in the provincials. He wanted to try out, and he probably would have made it, right? He's a good bowler, but you know what? Life gets in the way, right? So we're hoping we get him next year. We're going to get Trina next year, right? One of our girls.
Neufeld, yeah.
Yeah, we're going to get Trina next year, so that'll be amazing. She loves the competitive bowl. She doesn't bowl any other league except our Monday night competitive, and she's good, right? So
she was good in the day for sure, absolutely.
Well, we tell her she's good, but when I bowl against her, I have to straighten her out. But
You never bowl against her, Gerald, because she's an A bowler and you're a B
Oh,
bowler.
right, yeah.
Hey, there was a rumor out there, Gerald, that says when you're when you're bowling well, you're slower than Adam Weber.
You know what? If I'm going to get my game on, and I told some people this year, fuck you guys, I'm going back to my old school. Yeah, I'm slower than Adam, and Adam's amazing, right? But that was me back in the day. I remember that. I probably. So let me ask you guys this, because you guys know all the rules. Because we had an issue with a guy in our last tournament here. We had our no-tap tournament here last weekend, I think it was, 2 weekends ago. And what's the time frame that a bowler can be up on the lane for 3 balls?
There really isn't a set one.
Oh, shit. Okay.
10 hours?
Yeah, there really isn't a set one, but a judge up can call a
Right, just like
game if it's like excessive.
If it's excessive, yeah.
Just like
But there
golf,
isn't
right?
There isn't
Yeah.
a designated.
Because we got one guy, Ian Hill, right? I love him. He's my buddy, right? But he's slower than molasses in January, right? So running in January. So, but I was that guy. I've told those guys I took longer than Ian did. Weber, he's got nothing on me if I go back to my old game, right? That's just the way I was back then, right? I'm trying to get sorted out here with this Charlie horse, you guys.
I remember my first time ever meeting Gerald. We used to have back when the Hoffs and Margot owned the lanes.
Hold on. Wasn't that at Diamond's fucking
No.
Diamond's
No.
strippers bar? No? Okay.
That's after hours.
Okay.
We had a tournament. It was a big ball. It was a big ball, little ball tournament, and you played 18 holes of golf, and then you bowled, I think, 6 games or whatever. And I played with my dad. Gerald played with whoever, and we ended up bowling against Gerald and his partner. And I remember Gerald on the lanes, I think on a double or something, and he was taking forever. My dad was standing there waiting to throw and just is like, would you throw the ball already? And Gerald just looked at him, and I think he plowed a 2-pin after that. Yeah,
I don't plow fucking 2 pins. Oh, today I do, but next year I won't.
I watched you do it Monday night on a double.
Well, that's right. You know what? 2 years ago or last year, 7 in a row. I start from the gun on lane 9 and 10 on Tuesday nights. I get up there, and I'm not even feeling the pressure. I'm happy. Everything's good. It didn't even get halfway down the lane. It was gone. And I go, so when I step back, I walk backwards. Somebody hugged me from behind, Daryl Sharp, and I spared it up. And that's when Kaylee threw a 323 that game, and I threw 3. I don't know. I shit the bed after that, right? But why do we do that? You know, it's
funny. There was a guy a good friend of ours, Len Madarash. On Wednesday nights for it was a year. I don't know what was going through his head, but he throws a 5-bagger, picks a deuce. A second time he goes up there a couple weeks later, 5-bagger, picks a deuce. A week later, 5-bagger, picks a deuce. And every time that guy threw a 5-bagger for about 3 months, he would pick a deuce, and it got to the point where we were throwing money down on the table, expecting is he going to do it? What's going to happen? And he just pissed himself laughing. But every single time he got a 5-bagger, he'd pick a deuce. I don't know what the hell happened in his head. It was funny though.
I don't know what happened, and I mean I spared it up. I did the Ukrainian strike, as I called it, right? When you throw a gutter ball and then spare it up. And nothing against Vegreville and Kevin Tremblay, right? It's all good, right? but I don't. And then I struck in the 8th or something like that, the 9th. Anyway, is what it is, right? So, but next year, I've told my wife already that this summer we're going to do a little holiday and we're gonna get into it, and I'm going to come back. I'm not going to coach next year. I'm going to make the teams. That's my goal. I'm 60 years old in May, but I look at the Tom Walkers and I look at the Genos and those guys are still giving her, and I go, why not? It's a sport that we can all do, right? Yeah. You can be 80. We got Skippy here. I'm sure you guys saw my post the other day. Skippy from Dawson Creek is 92 fucking years old, and he's still throwing 300s, right? Yeah. So I know Kerry doesn't see that because he doesn't follow me on Instagram, but
you have an Instagram?
No, I don't. No, I think Kaylee set me up on something. I don't know.
Oh man!
But, do you know you have enough time with Facebook sometimes?
Right? I love Facebook. I got broken into today, son of a bitch, blah blah blah, right? So, I know. We were at the bowling alley at 6 o'clock this morning because the alarms went off.
Yeah.
Three times they went off. So anyway, yeah, but whatever,
Unreal.
it is what it is. What else you got on this list here? Let me look here.
We crushed this list.
Yeah, we did. In no particular order, but we somehow managed to hit everything.
Daryl's probably just twitching. It's not in the order. Not in the order.
Sorry, Daryl.
When we had Taylor Michelle on, I figured he would be the guy that crushed all the swearing records, and here we. It's amazing.
I actually was gonna keep track, but I ran out of
It was
ink
like
about 20
South
minutes
Park,
ago.
bigger, longer, uncut, like setting records out there.
You know what? I love you guys. I love the game. I love what you guys do for the game.
Yeah.
I don't care what you guys say. When all that shit hit the fan, you guys came up with an idea. And what an amazing idea to keep it going, You know what? All through COVID, when we were shut down, Friday nights, through the north door, I had 20 people come in. They would pay cash and smoke in the back. I didn't give a shit because they paid my power bill, right? So I didn't care. I did all that. I don't care, right? I cared about what was
Gerald,
going on.
we might have to cut this podcast off. We don't want you to get arrested.
The police are on our side here. You know what?
Oh, you're perfect.
We were all about the sanity, like you guys were, and whatever happened. But that's what we're about here. Trish and I are about the bowlers, and Scott knows that as much as he irritates me. But I'm learning I'm learning to understand him more because Alicia whispers in my ear a couple of things here and there after he says some
sweet nothings.
Well, just dumbass moves he makes, right? So then I go.
Oh man! So when are we going to get you out to one of these cash tournaments?
Well, next year I'll tell you what's going to happen over the summer. I'm going to lose 25 pounds, and then I'll be able to see pretty much everything down there, and then it's kind of tucked away right now. You know what I'm saying? And then that'll help my game substantially. I don't care what you guys say, and you got to have. I mean, how many games does the person bowl? You do these 8 games, and then if you make the cut, then it's game on, right? I remember that when I was younger. But sorry, I didn't mean to make you cry. Okay, but
I'm just happy for you.
but I am going to try next year. Scott's going to push me into a couple of them, and I will go along. And I'm excited that we have more people involved, right? More bowlers involved, and they're all great people, and they all want to do well. They're all overthinkers. Mike Top, Timmy Sharp, Scotty Olenberger. Quit fucking thinking about it, okay? Just bowl. But once they learn to do that, it's going to come because they're all amazing people and amazing bowlers, and I can't wait. I can't wait for next year. I'm just happy we all got through 1 year, you guys.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. It feels like we're in the clear for the rest of the season. So
It does.
Fingers crossed. Yeah.
It does. Well, we're in March, right? Whatever happens now. But no, Anyway, let's not get into politics because that I'm not a political guy. I think
you
I
tried
should
to be, and
it
turns out you weren't.
People don't know that you tried out for counselor.
Oh, right. I forgot about that. No. Well,
You tried. Oh my god.
you guys fucking told me I was running for mayor. You told everybody I wasn't running for mayor. I was running for council. But
You didn't finish last.
I did not. For my first year, I had 1,269 vote. Grand Prairie has 72,000 people, kids and everything, but only 9,200 people voted, and I had 1,269 in my first year. I believe that my mistake was in the last 2 weeks. I chalk that up to experience. I'll be 63 if I decide to run next time, but I will start sooner, obviously, with that stuff, right? But I want to make a difference in Grand Prairie if I can. With you guys know me, I've exposed myself as far as hey.
Cameras are off.
As far as homelessness goes, I mean, you guys don't know a lot about me, but when I was 19, my sister passed away and her husband. They were killed by a drunk driver. Not to get into shit, I'm good with it, but I disappeared. I left this world for just about 2 years, and in that time frame, I was in Edmonton. I was just down by you guys. You guys still were in your dad's sack, but you were right. I'm 19 years old, right? So I was pretty angry at the world. So I disappeared I lived in a car off of Jasper Avenue for damn near 2 years. And then one day I phoned Mom. And fuck, I tell you, I shouldn't have phoned her that day because she was angry, right? So, so she gave me $100. She transferred me $100, or however that works. Back then, you did it through
Western Union.
Thank you, Western Union, and I made my way home in my Ford Fairmont Futura car, right? So, and that was 2 years. I didn't do drugs. I didn't drink. I just was on the streets for just about. I was lost once my sister passed, right? So, and I know a lot of people have been through that crap. There isn't one person on here who probably hasn't been through that. Not to be negative, right? But I grew from that. Once I got back, and Mom slapped me a couple times and said, "Smarten up," right? So
straightened you out.
She did, right? She did. At 16, I ran away from home. What am I doing? I got a good home, right? But you do that crap. If you look at my hair back in the day, well, then you understand why I ran away from home. Right? So,
I hope you were trying to find a barbershop or something.
Well, hey, on that,
the Burning Man.
On that, in Dawson Creek, with that hair, when I go get a cut, this male barber in there, I don't know what to think. I'm sure he's dead now because he was way older than me. But he loved my hair, right? So he would bring the girls over and they would talk about my hair for 10, 15, 20 minutes before I go, get me the fuck out of here, right? So, sorry.
Why are you apologizing now?
Well, I know it's kind of late. Hey, Buffalo.
I wonder how the captions are working on your TV right now.
Oh, yeah.
I can see
it. I got it on my phone. It's all bleeped out. It's pretty funny.
It's bleeped out. But when I replay this next Wednesday, the captions will show up, correct?
The
how
slang
you
still
set it
might be
up, yeah.
bleeped out.
There's no need.
Censorship,
Right. No, I'm sorry, you guys. I didn't mean to swear. My daughter.
We don't care.
My daughter knows I don't swear very much, so right. I could tell you hundreds of stories, like other than Kaylee, my favorite story, inner city wise, because you guys got that on here.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Let's look at this. Inner city, 46 years coaching and playing, and I can remember Irene Duperrin. If Shelley's watching this, this is her aunt. Shelley's a country and western singer from Peace River who's made lots of music, and her friend have an album there called Sugar and Spice. Not that I'm pitching it, but Shelley I grew up with, right? We have the same birthday. But Irene was her mom, and she was a Hitler, right? It was like I was coaching in Fort St. John, and I had this lady on my team, Frances Dobransky, 60 years old, if not more. And she threw a ball that took 5 minutes to get down there, right? But Francis was always on the middle. So when the game was going on, Irene's walking back and forth. In Fort St. John, the lanes are below, the spectators are up higher, right? Yeah. And so, you've been there?
We went there once.
We played
for
the
that
tournament up there.
That's right. Right. So you understand that. So I can see Irene. I'm coaching the mixed team. I got Francis on there, whoever else. And Francis is struggling a little bit for first 3 or 4 frames. And she, look at Irene. She's walking by and she goes, pull her! Like this is out loud to everybody, right? And I said to Irene, I love the lady. I respect her. She's gone now, right? But I loved her, right? And I just ignored her. I said, no, Irene, I'm not doing it. And Francis, no word of a lie, I'll never forget it. And she threw a 6-bagger after that, right? And her ball, we had time to chat and have a tea, right? No word of a lie. That's how long it took. Not that long. I mean, a little sarcastic, but but she threw a 6-bagger and won it for us because I told Francis, we're not listening to her. You got it, right? Just go out there and do what you got to do, right? And she ended up like Frances threw her biggest game, I think, of her life that day, right? So you never know when the person's going to light it up, you guys. You know that.
That's right.
Right?
That's
so
right.
Exactly.
yeah.
Gerald, with Inner City too, how many you've played for what, everyone except Prince George?
When I lived in Peace River growing up, Rick Yakishin, he's passed away. Here's another quick story, you guys. I don't have many of them, but Rick Yakishin worked for the newspaper, and he always did the sports, and he was a really big guy, and he passed away way too short of life. But he would always put on the papers, Hafner does it again. I love seeing it. You know, the Hafners, Mom and Gerald, right? I've got printouts at home. I should have sent you guys this stuff, right? But Hafners do it again, King, Queen, champions. But what was the question?
You've played for everyone but Prince George.
Rick Yakishin would always say, and Gerald Hafner, bowled Fairview. The only two I haven't played for is Fairview and Fort St. John. But he would always say all points west, right? Or all points east, or whatever he would say. Because I even though I moved around a lot, right, when I was young, and once I got into my 20s and I got back from my sabbatical in the streets of Edmonton and Chinatown, I started moving around lots, right? So Prince George, you can't go wrong there. You got the Gorge Snows and so many other amazing bowlers there. Cease McAdams. You guys don't know these guys, but they are the Ryan Bourne.
Did you know Rudy Shoots?
No, I didn't. Is that from Prince George?
Yeah.
No, I didn't.
No. Okay.
And I worked for, when I was in Prince George, that's where my first marriage was. That's where, I've only had 7, by the way. Or that's 8. 7. There. But that's where I lived when I tried to get my shit together the first time. I worked for PGTV, which was selling airtime on TV for CBC. And man, life was good, right? And once CBC did their cutbacks back in, I don't know what year, but me and Carrie, we were not in the same place, my first wife, so we split her up and away we went, right? But I moved back to Peace. Isn't it amazing? Have you guys ever done this? You know, you're having a tough time in life. Well, the fucking Wisemans wouldn't know. They've lived in Sherwood Park their whole life. But, you know, you're having a shitty time in your life, but you always go back home, right? You always go back home. So I went back to Peace River and started over, right? And that's what's led me to this. There's always a path. There's always a reason why things happen, right? So,
Yeah.
you know, Trish was going to come, my wife Trish was going to come to Peace River when we first started dating. I mean, I know you guys don't know this, and this isn't bowling, but I feel like Kermit the Frog there. Hey, everybody! Right? But we've known each other since we were 4 and 8 years old, you know, and she doesn't remember that, but I was hitting on her then, right? So, but we know
You were literally twice her age.
I was. Now I'm not. But, you know, we grew up together knowing each other. And there was a time, because I worked for a good company in Peace River, and Trish and I started dating in 1998. And she was going to come there, right? But she was a single mom with $40,000 a year job. You don't leave that shit. I can come here and find a job, right, to Grand Prairie. And so then the rest took its course. And you know what? There's a path for everybody, and I believe this is our path, and I'm so excited about it, right? So
We're very glad you took the path you did, because it led everybody to this, and what you're doing is absolutely amazing, Joe.
To this
Thank you.
moment.
Yeah.
to this moment right
magic
here,
moment.
buddy, right? You know, there's a lot of amazing stories in between, you know, and
Yeah.
I could go on forever, but that's, you know, your sponsors don't pay that kind of money, you know, so, right? So
That's right.
That's right. But there's lots of them, and a lot of them include bowling. So many of them include bowling. When I was in Peace River, 21, 22, 23, when I got back into the game, my age, I would go down to Calgary. I would bowl off in Peace River. Back in the day, when you guys weren't around, Grand Prairie and Peace River would have a busload going to the provincials. You know, busloads, right? Grand Prairie would have a busload. Peace River would have a busload. And we'd go to provincials and roll off. And TSN, CBC, I fucking hate Edmonton and Calgary, because I love Diane Violini, and there's a gentleman there with long curly hair like I had back in. Well, mine was a fro.
Mike DiPietro.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Dave Alexander.
Yeah.
So, Calgary, TSN, no, the CBC. I'm averaging after 9 games, 270. I don't know what place I'm in. I'm not looking. Rick's mom, which is Rick was the newspaper guy back in my day. His mom somehow, she's like 80 then, made the women's, right? So she came out with me. I'm not looking at the scoreboard. I'm 9 games in. I see Bruce Mortar. I see Greg Giglick. I see Dave Alexander. But I'm averaging. I'm sure 270. I had my friends there, but I said, don't tell me where I'm at. 10th game. One of those pricks said, go tell him what place he's in. Right? So they come over, and I can see Ann waddling over, right? Gerald, you're don't tell me what place. I got, sorry, these guys are playing shit on me out there in the window. But I kind of felt, okay, 270, I got to be top 2 because that's what it went.
Yeah.
Right? That's what went back then to the TSN, the CBC. And Ann come over and told me. And I went, get out of here, Ann. Just go. I got to ride home with you anyway for 7 hours, right? So we go with my last game. I throw 212. I'll never forget it. I watched Bruce Mortar. I'm in first place. I didn't know it, but at that point I was in first place. I watched Bruce Mortar. What a bowler, right? Mm-hmm. Like, you guys know Bruce. Yeah. I don't know if you guys have seen tapes of Bruce or if you bowled with Bruce, but he's amazing, right? And he threw a huge game his last game, went ahead of me. So the last game, I'm done. Dave Alexander is left. And he's got a 90 out in 9 and 10 to beat me by 4. And he does that. Toothpick in his mouth, chucking that ball straight down there. And you know what? I had to be happy for him. I was, of course, depressed because I thought I was going off to TV land, right? But the things you learn mentally, you know, the way I got into mentally the games back then, I would jump on my 12-speed bike and I would ride 30 miles on my bike in Peace River. I would just go.
Have you tried that recently?
Yeah, not lately, buddy. Yeah. The prostate's acting up, eh? So I got a peel on, eh? So no, but I'm telling you guys that I have a goal for next year, and those are I have stories like that. Even that other guy you were talking about, the curly-haired guy, Mike, same thing. Diane and Mike finished top 2. I fell out of it in 3rd, you know, and that was in Medicine Hat. I don't forget that shit, right? But
sorry, what was the question?
Right? I don't know. Buffalo. I don't usually have questions. You guys know that. I ramble on pretty good.
No.
So.
Gerald, we're going to have to get you back on here again another day, and a day where we can have some drinks with you and just let her have it. But
look at Tom Patterson. I love this guy. You know, his quote, his statement just now. But Tom, you guys know he's amazing. I know we got to go here, right? And I have to go pee pretty bad. But but Tom Patterson took my daughter and many other kids from what a school he has. And I'm not knocking, Alberta school, but people told me, what school do I put Kately in? And some said Alberta, some said Saskatchewan. But I knew Tom, so I went with Comfort Zone, and that wasn't a mistake, right? You know, you got 4 days of kids. You're not even allowed in there unless the child needs you in there. You're not allowed there. So I mean, I'm you can jet Dex. What does that mean?
I have
Dex
to.
has gotta
I
go.
do have to take off. Yeah.
Oh, do you? See, I'm talking. Anyway,
yeah,
Tom Patterson's been amazing for the game.
No,
okay.
you guys keep going. I'm taking off. Thanks, Gerald. This was enlightening.
Thanks, Dexter.
It's good chatting with you, buddy.
You too, buddy.
See ya.
Bisexual. Yeah.
See you, Dex.
Oh man, that's awesome. Like you were speaking about Tom Patterson in his school. I was never fortunate enough to go to it, but you hear the stories about it and how well it was run and stuff like that. It's amazing that he can produce a product like that and have years of success with it, right?
His mindset is amazing, and him and I had some talks in Regina the last time it was there where we saw each other, and he's amazing, and he's all about the kids, you know. But I have two bowlers in my north, and Tom, you know who these people are, and I don't think I have to say, but they've been reaching out to you on their mental side of the game, which paid off at provincials for one of my bowlers, and the physical part of the game where, you know, repeat. And both of those bowlers are on here today, but you know, they're working with him, reaching out to him. And Tom, they better be paying you, okay? You know, there's got to be a paycheck in there somewhere, buddy.
Yeah.
But he's amazing. You guys know that. We all know that about Tom. So
huge dividends going out there. There's no doubt about it. And for anybody's listening, the registration's open. So if you wanna sign up your kid to go out there, it's well worth the money.
Is there an age restriction?
I think I think they got to be 12.
Yeah.
Is
No,
that
I'm
correct,
talking about
Tom?
for me.
Oh. You could go as a coach. You could go as a coach and probably learn from the kids, right? So,
No, like you know, like I grew up playing YBC, and I never knew of anything like that. I don't know if it was around. I grew up in a kind of a different aspect, you know, with Tim and Dex, and you know the level of competition and what we had back then was it was great. Like you had to fight.
yeah.
To make a team, to get to provincials,
Yeah.
and then you have to fight at nationals. So, you know, that's what drives me in this sport. So,
You've really picked up the bug, buddy, and I'm glad you did. And I'm glad it wasn't, you know, herpes or something like that, right? So, no, but you have, Scott, and you've excelled, and that's what I look for all my bowlers. That's what Trish and I want for all our competitive bowlers is to get that extra step and make a difference for the North wants to be there, and this year is going to be a good year. We'll see how it goes, but once I make the team, then that'll be the difference. I'm pretty sure. So,
That's right. Yeah.
Well,
Crack-
I'll tell you
crack
what,
the code.
we're excited. I think it's 2024. Next time North hosts the Open.
you tell me, is that what
Yeah.
it is?
I think so, yeah.
is it 2023 or 24? 2017 was the last time we hosted.
Yeah,
But-
it's just next year
there's-
should be Calgary. Yeah, it's
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah, I guess, yeah.
absolutely. Whatever it is, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, and you know what? We're excited to see the scoring up there now because 2017 was a little rough. It was tough, but
Windex and a Swiffer.
yeah,
all I gotta
Windex
say.
and a Swiffer. Yeah. Tell you what, the place was clean, but it was tough scoring. I remember it was a little
Very
frustrating,
tough
yeah.
story.
Great couch. Beer was cold.
Yeah.
We fixed
You
we fixed the 3 lanes that were bad. You know,
Okay.
Tim, remember when you did IP, Tim? And I said,
Yeah.
I don't want to. I'm embarrassed. Those 3 lanes are cracked up because they're just.
Oh,
you
they're,
know,
they're perfectly fine.
So I went to Prince George and I found 3 lanes, and I brought those 3 lanes back, and I had Chris Glodek, who is an offspring of the owners. He's an amazing carpenter. We did 1 lane at a time, but we fixed those lanes.
Yeah.
Right. So
That's awesome.
yeah, absolutely, and that's all we can do for now, right?
Except
So-
lane 8. It'll still give Derek home nightmares. That's all I gotta say.
the dot missing, right? Yeah. Yeah.
Well, it
That's
might
okay.
be. Well, isn't it there now, Scott?
Yeah.
Oh, the lip's still there.
I know. What do you do, right? So.
Oh, I love
I
it.
know. Yeah.
I know if I hit it in the right spot, it's a strike every time. So.
But one day I'm hoping I can do what the Wisemans did and you know make the 12 new lanes and do it right. So
Yeah, yeah. You'll get there sooner or later. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just a matter of time.
it's time. Yeah, you betcha.
Well,
Okay,
all right, Gerald.
I'm gonna warn my wife that it's 2024 so she can start panicking now. And you know, I know you guys were there to support us anyway. So
For sure, absolutely.
You bet,
Yeah.
you bet. So we're gonna let you go, so you can go to the washroom, and
Holy
we'll
man.
talk to you later. And we can't thank you enough for doing this, Gerald. Obviously, you got tons of stories. We're gonna get you back on, hopefully here in the short future, and have a story time for sure.
that's awesome, Kerry. Well, thank you guys for bringing me on. You guys are amazing. What you do for our sport, and I look forward to our next visit.
Yeah,
Perfect.
absolutely.
All
Yeah.
See you on Sunday at Pro League.
Yeah, you loser.
See you Sunday, Gerald.
Okay, buddy. Okay.
All right.
Thanks,
Bye.
guys.
Oh, that's awesome. Obviously, Gerald enjoys the sport, enjoys everybody that goes into his bowling center, and it's amazing to have somebody invested that much into a bowling center that they literally just took over a few years ago, and then they had COVID hit, right? Like,
Yeah. You know, he's
it's
had a
amazing.
rough, year and a half, but that's the real Gerald. You walk into the lanes and that's who you see. Whether he's having a bad day, a busy day, whatever it is, you get he wears his emotions on his sleeve, and that's the real Gerald. You know, I've known the guy forever, and I'm glad to call him a friend and everything. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, absolutely. Like, how to get him on? People outside, maybe not even in Alberta, but outside Alberta don't know how great of an influence he is for that community. And him and Jody and Rob from Lloydminster really have reinvigorated the North, right? And it's great to see, because a lot of years it was a little bleak, and it was just Bonnie up there doing a lot of things up there, and Scott helping out once in a while with some stuff, and super great to see what it's become and what it will be, right? And that's all Gerald, right? And can't thank him enough for it.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you for Gerald and Trish taking that on and being a huge part of Grand Prairie bowling and North bowling and literally Alberta bowling. It's nothing but benefiting the whole province. So so let's do our all-star bowling draw, and we'll end this thing here shortly. All right, good luck everybody. 21 people. Oh, we gotta hit this button. Maybe we'll get a new winner. Cindy.
Oh, Cindy.
There you go.
All right.
Well, she has quick access to the inventory, so that works out great for her.
Yeah, there we go. I don't even know what she's gonna buy.
Maybe your birthday present.
Yeah.
new set of balls.
New set of Olympics.
No, I'm gonna. No, I got those things forever. Yeah.
Scott, thank you very much for coming and joining and being part of this.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Whether I was sitting on my couch just listening to it live or being part of it, I appreciate it. I can't thank you guys both enough for what you guys do for the sport. From being at the tour events and seeing the setup, the pride and everything that goes into these events. It's class act. I'm glad to be part of it, and I look forward to every event that I show up at.
Yeah.
Perfect. So I think we're good.
We're good. Absolutely.
Right.
We should list off our new people coming on for the podcast, right? Our guests. We should almost do that. We haven't done that in a while. Next week we have Katie Rayner. I'm sorry, everyone. If you think that Gerald has a potty mouth, Katie's just as worse. And then we have Crystal Hibner. I booked with her husband, so I'm hoping that works. So Crystal will be on. And then finally we have Brad Rusnak. So Brad would be really great to have on as well.
Sounds like quite the lineup. Can't wait to meet everybody and have these great discussions. And like I said, it might not fill the time like Gerald did, but everybody's great guests.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, guys. And we'll see you all next week. See you Sunday, Scott.
Yes, you will.
All righty.
I might be on the bench. I might be playing.
We'll see. All right. Have a good night, guys.
Take care, guys.
Thanks.